Hey, Matt. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
What are you listening to this week? Welcome to Season 5 of What Are You Listening To? The weekly podcast created to foster community through music by sharing the stories behind the songs that soundtrack our lives. Some of the songs are old, some new, all good. I'm Jenn Tully, and this week I'm joined by Matt Sidholm and Sam Abusabi. They are the co-founders of the Super Awesome Mix Podcasting Network and co-hosts of the Super Awesome Mix podcast. And this week, they are here to help me create a 2025 holiday playlist to wrap up Season 5 of What Are You Listening To? This week, we'll finish the show and the season with a 6-song playlist of some of our holiday favorites. Which songs do you think we're going to discuss? Tune into our conversation to find out. And in case our song picks are new to you, we'll publish a playlist with the episode so you don't miss a beat. You guys, I'm so excited to have you both on the show. And this is my favorite time of year. So let's get started. Matt, Sam, what are you listening to this week?
I mean, just so much great music. We just did our best of episodes. So, we were just going through all the great music in 2024. And, one of the bands that stood out to me in 2024 that I just discovered and became one of my new favorites was Fantastic Cat. So I was so excited that they put out a version of Holiday Road. And so that's my first pick. The original is by Lindsey Buckingham and famously featured in National Lampoon's Vacation. It's not really directly about holidays or Christmas or anything like that, but they had put out this little EP with this song and a version of Feliz Navidad. And because I love Fantastic Cat, and it's kind of a big year for me discovering them, I was like, I've got to include this on my holiday playlist.
Yes, this was definitely like a dark horse pick, I will say. And I was chatting with Sam before we started recording that there are 2 movies that kick off my holiday season every year. And one of them is When Harry Met Sally, and the other is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Same for that one, yeah.
Yeah.
It can't be Christmas without me watching that movie. Yep. And I have yet to get tired of it. Like I love it every single year. It's so good.
And you could jump in at any point. You could jump in at any point and kind of finish.
That's a good point. Yeah, like there's not a lot of movies where you can do that, right? Where you're like, oh well, now I'm lost. Like you can just
yeah,
you can just join halfway through and like you've picked up the plot immediately. I think it's just so familiar.
Hold on, I love it. Christmas in this one? When is
right.
that happening?
Well, and if you are lost, you get the little advent calendar, that they slowly open in vignettes. And for some reason, I mean, I don't always forget, but I'm always pleasantly surprised to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Like she doesn't.
Right.
I don't think of her immediately as one of the cast members, even though she's one of my favorite characters in that movie. But I'm always so happy to see her too.
Yeah, no, I agree. Her little cameo there is fantastic, and I'm reminded by it. She's such a great actress, and
good.
I absolutely loved everything she's done since. But yeah, this song definitely that's where I went. I went to National Lampoon's Christmas. I just played the opening credits in my head as the song was playing, and I think they did a good job with this cover. They were like true to the song. They didn't like do something too weird, but then added their like flavor to it. So kudos to Fantastic Cat for doing a nice little cover of this Christmas song.
Yes. All right, Matt, what's your second pick?
All right, I probably went with something people have heard of with the second pick. This is What Christmas Means to Me by Stevie Wonder. Just an amazing, just from the first couple notes, he kind of just sucks you in. It reminds me of his version of We Can Work It Out, by the Beatles when he did a cover of that. And it's hard to top the Beatles, and plenty of people have covered their songs, but that was one where I declared Stevie did it better, right? Like that's Stevie's song now. And this is not a cover, but just like when he gets into this one and the energy he brings and all of it, like I just love this one. I've heard it a million times. And, I think, we all have those radio stations, whether you're on Sirius XM or just your local radio, that come November 1st, they're like, we're doing Christmas music for the next 8 weeks, right? And some of the songs on there, I just get beaten down by, but this is one that every time it comes on, I'm in, gets me fired up for Christmas. I just love it.
Yeah, same. The one note I wrote about this song is classic. Period. Like, I just love this one. And this whole album, actually, it's from the Someday at Christmas album from like 1967, I think. And this one's always a crowd pleaser too, to all the families that are gathering this year. If you're looking for, music that everyone can listen to, that Stevie Wonder Someday at Christmas album always delivers. It's a crowd pleaser every time.
Yeah, this one is so good. I agree. You just hit play on it and you're smiling. Like, you're just instantly smiling. I think he does such a great job with that. And pretty much most of his music, right? I just feel like that's the energy that Stevie Wonder brings to a room.
Yeah, it's positive, it's upbeat. Like, it's one of those two that, like you said, I never get tired of this one either. And there are plenty that I get tired of. I'm looking at you, Mariah Carey. I cannot hear any more of that ever.
Okay.
Never.
Not to get off on a tangent, and it's not on the playlist, I still get into that song.
No.
I still love it.
I can't.
I know. I might be on Team Matt here too. It's
you
terrible.
guys. Okay, well, because I
know it's played a zillion times this time of year, but man, when she comes in right at the beginning, I'm like, God, this is so good. This is so good.
I call timeout on that one. I can't. But, here's my weird one that everybody has that feeling about and I don't. It's Wham. Last Christmas, I will listen to over and over until I die.
That's a skip for me, I think.
No way.
Okay, hold on.
No way.
Now, here's where I'm at with this one. Okay, I'm a little bit in between the two of you. Okay,
you're gonna like the Glee version or something.
No. What I was gonna say, and we just had a text string about this. It goes on a little too long. Okay, it could wrap up a little bit earlier, and then I think we might be able to bring Samara over. I think if we could wrap it up a little earlier. There's just too many last Christmases.
No, that's fair. It's true. You know what? As we were talking about, this whole playlist, we've got 6 songs in here. It's 16 minutes long. And I was laughing like, that's like one Tool song, like the first 6 minutes of any Tool song is just them warming up their instruments. I saw that meme recently and that just killed me because that's 100% accurate.
Yeah, it's true. Can you imagine a Tool Christmas album? Wow.
That would be awesome.
Hours.
I could definitely imagine him doing that, Maynard doing that. I feel like that's right up his alley. A very festive man.
Well, and since we don't have a Tool Christmas album just yet, Sam, please transition us out of this conversation and tell us what your first pick was for the holiday playlist.
Yeah, this one is it's actually my all-time favorite Christmas song, I think. It is The Christmas Song. This one is sung by Nat King Cole. It's been covered a million times, but this classic one, this just gets me every time. Whenever I hear it, I'm just instantly transported to the holiday season. I think it's just so calming, and I love that. I think that I say this a lot on, anytime I'm talking about Christmas, but I think like wintertime is a really nice time to slow down and be with friends and be with family and kind of just reflect and take it all in. That's, that's the season in nature, right? It's like trees kind of go internal and shed their flowers and just go deeper into their roots. And I think humans can benefit from a lot of that same thing of just slowing down. And so this song just kind of slows me down, sets that mood. And it's so beautiful. I'm also a huge fan of chestnuts, and I make them every year because you can just pop them in the oven. And so I'm like, yeah, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I'm there.
I tell you what, Samara, and obviously you're married now, so it wouldn't matter, but I bet you'd have a pretty unique dating profile if it was like loves chestnuts.
That would be a good hook. Yeah, that would be a good hook.
Wow.
They're either in or out right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Decision made. I didn't even really know that chestnuts were a thing. I'm glad to know that is something and that you enjoy that. Do they have a smell? Does it smell nice? I imagine that they would be something that smell lovely roasting.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's like the smell for me, but I just love their taste. Like and so I lived for 2 years in Paris when I was a kid because my dad needed to go there for work, and they would have street vendors during Christmas time that would sell chestnuts that they're literally doing like in a little cart with a flame, and they, you kind of score them, you put them over the heat, and then they just crack open, and you peel the outsides and eat the chestnut on the inside, and they just taste so good. I can like pop like 100 of them, no problem.
Sure, we all remember those winters in Paris growing up. Okay, real relatable story. Okay.
Paris, Texas. That's where my family's from.
Texas.
So I was actually.
It's about as far as we got.
Well, Matt, I feel like that's an open invitation, though, to Sam's house next holiday season, so we can experience this chestnut magic.
No kidding. No kidding.
Yeah. If you can brave the New York City cold, I know that anytime it dips below 70, y'all are hitting the heat, turning that up at home. So
it's true. It's true. It's true.
It's going to be 56 today. Okay. I've got gloves on indoors.
Yeah. We've got a fire in the fireplace. Yeah. It's just how we roll right now.
I'm just burning furniture. Yeah.
In the front yard.
Yes.
Well, pop some chestnuts on top of that fire.
Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Just like the Parisians do. We're on it. All right. Tell us about your second pick, Sam.
Yes. Okay. So it is the Nutcracker classic, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. So recently, Sarah and I had a chance to go and watch the New York Philharmonic perform Sounds of the Season, which was an amazing concert where they did a lot of, just songs of Christmas songs, Hanukkah ones, winter ones, and all of that. And they performed a version of this one that I absolutely loved. I tried to find it. I could not find it, but it started very classically. And I also learned that the instrument that opens up this song, I believe, is called a celeste. It's like an amazing little weird piano variation. It's incredible. But then the conductor had it kind of transform into a jazz band version of it. And it was so seamless and it sounded so cool. So ever since then, I've been kind of obsessed. And so I really want to try to find that version of it because I think it was so well done. But yeah, going to the NY Phil, as it's known here, was also, side note, I always think of Andy Bernard. There's this random scene where he's like, yeah, I went to Cornell. Have you heard of it? And I always want to... I always do that with New York, like I live in New York City. Have you heard of it? So it was awesome. It was such a nice little thing. So if you have a chance to, again, slow down, like listen to a musical concert like this, like a classical musical concert, it was very relaxing and calming and quite beautiful.
Yeah, I love this too. I'm not, here we go again with like songs that I don't love, which is not really the point of the show, but I'm not a big like Trans-Siberian Orchestra gal either. Like I never really got into that. And so whenever I was like, please, nobody put one of those on the playlist this week, please. So I was really happy that we got some Tchaikovsky and we got the Nutcracker and we did have like this really beautiful instrumental without it being the Philippine Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Plus, they're very anti-trans in Siberia, so it just doesn't.
Oh my goodness!
You can't help yourself over there. Well, I also too, because I love the ballet of this. Like I love the Nutcracker performed, and so I feel like I can see them dancing when I hear this song. It's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I don't know if this resonates with anyone either, but this song sounds like it's snowing to me. Like, I don't know if it's like the ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
ding.
it might be that instrument. Yeah, it has that kind of feel to it. I can see that.
So I always love that too, because it immediately makes me think like, oh, it's snowing outside. And even though, it's probably 78 degrees here in Austin, but
yeah,
a girl can dream.
I've got to confess here. I've never actually seen the Nutcracker.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
and a surprise revelation to no one.
All right. Well, you've got homework. If you're going to tell me to go watch all these terrible '80s movies all the time, you got to you got to add some culture to your life, Matt. I know culture.
Nutcracker.
Yeah, I think culture scares you a little bit.
This song a compliment is that even if you're not familiar with the story, and even if you're not familiar with the show, like it's you know this song. Like, I think
Yes.
that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive that it kind of transcends even the direct knowledge of it, and sort of like you have to be, into theater in some way, shape, or form. It's like, no, everyone knows this song,
Yeah.
and it's completely reminiscent of winter. Jen, I think you nailed it when you said it sounds like it's snowing. But yeah, I think it's perfect. But yeah, I have never seen the Nutcracker.
No, you don't have to be into theater or ballet since it's actually a ballet, not a play, but
Well, see, I don't
okay.
even know. It just shows you how far removed I am from this, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get chestnuts at Sammer's in the Parisian style, and we're gonna all go see the Nutcracker. So that
It's gonna happen. It's gonna
so
happen.
that
We're all leveling up.
Yeah, we're growing as people. That's what
Yeah.
we aspire to do.
2025 is going to be our year for culture, big culture in 2025, everyone. Well, I'm going to take the reins now and start with my first pick. This is a song called The Merriest by June Christie. This is an old song. The song is from 1961, but I just discovered it. I think it was last year that I was the first time that I heard it. And I was surprised because we always had a lot of, classic Christmas music on in my house when I was a kid growing up. My parents were big music lovers, and so lots of records were played. Even my grandparents, same thing. Like everywhere we went, music was on. And so I was surprised that I hadn't heard this. And I remember when I discovered it, I was like, wait, is this an old song or is this a song that's new that's made to sound old? And so when I found out that it really was from 1961, I was like, oh, I like that. And this one is just, again, I'm a lyrics gal. I love the lyrics to this one. It's so positive. It's upbeat. It's kind of silly. And I just think it's so cheery. I love this one. Had you guys heard this one? Was this new for you? Is this an old classic? Tell me what you thought of this one.
This was new for me. I think, yeah, I mean, but I loved it. Just the horns right at the beginning, and it was so like jazzy and kind of fun. And I also like the kind of lower register of her voice because, like, nowadays, all you see, feel like, going back to our friend Mariah Carey, who we referenced earlier, like, since she started coming out and hitting a lot of high notes and in her singing, that just became a thing among singers, right? And I think back in the 60s, you had some female voices that were a little lower. And I mean, she sounds fantastic, right? Like, I love the sound of this song. And I was with you, Jen. I immediately was like, did I just miss this one? And it came out like a year ago, and yeah, it was like 60 years old instead. But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I had not heard it either, and I really liked it. It just instantly, again, it just has that sound. It's I like the lyrics a lot too. I think they're clever and they're fun, and just wishing everyone, and if you're down at all, they're like wishing you to be up.
Yes.
Right? And I really like that. I like that theme throughout. So really nice find. I can't believe that neither of us had heard this before.
Right?
Yeah.
I couldn't either. When I found it, I was like, how have I missed this song? And like, little small holiday tip, you have to find the album cover of this, the album that it's on. I think it's just like a June Christie Holiday Classics or something, but it's just this beautiful old school, like she's throwing a snowball wearing this like lovely 60s pantsuit and a coat. Like, I'm like, I want to frame this album cover and use it as holiday decor. It's so like my vision of like this vintage Christmas vibe.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, this time of year. I'm looking at it now. I agree.
Yeah.
Those pants are awesome.
Right? Those red pants. They're like red cigarette pants. I'm there all day for those.
Yeah.
What's the name of the album, Sammer?
This Time of Year.
Yes, This Time of Year. Thank you. So definitely check that out. And then my second pick to round out our holiday playlist is right back to where we started with Christmas Vacation. It's Here Comes Santa Claus, and it's the Gene Autry version. So it's specific to this version. This is on my It's Not Christmas Until I Hear This Song, This Version playlist. I love this whole album. Again, this one is the original. Gene Autry sings Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and other Christmas favorites. My grandparents played this. My parents played this. I have this album now. Like, it is not Christmas for me until this gets played. And then This song is one of my favorites on it. It was my favorite when I was a kid. It's my favorite now. It's from 1957. And then to make it the perfect song for me, it is the song that plays in the background in the the amazing SWAT team scene in Christmas Vacation when they're coming to, rescue the boss that took away the Christmas bonuses. And it's just this insane amount of police activity to like get to this one guy. And you see policemen like flying through windows and the SWAT team vans. And I mean, it's insanity and I love it. It's probably my favorite part of the movie. And just having this song in the background makes it that much more epic.
Yes. Yeah. The juxtaposition between those two things is hilarious and wonderful. It's so good.
So good.
I think the cousin in that movie is he's great. Like he's such a foil to that film and makes it so much better. I used to be really annoyed by his character, but as I've grown older, I just think he's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Randy Quaid. Yes.
Yeah. So good. Like just genius in that film.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there was a year where everybody got Merry Christmas shitters full ornaments from me because that's one of my favorites. Like, he's I just think it's so. Cousin Eddie is a classic in all of at least the first two. Those are the ones I acknowledge. The first two National Lampoon's Vacation films.
Yeah, Sam Ray, have you seen the original National Lampoon's Vacation?
I have. Yeah,
okay.
I have.
Yeah. Because Cousin Eddie also really takes a star turn in that one.
Yes, no, definitely. They're great.
Very good. And I will say the remake too is good. The Ed Helms,
I liked it
Christina
too.
Applegate one.
Yeah.
It's actually really good. That's really good. But Matt, what were you going to weigh in?
Oh, I was just, as far as the song goes, I was going to say, June Christie's voice in the previous song, just like, wow, what an amazing voice. Gene Autry, not a conventionally oh, wow, what an amazing voice. But I think just the whole arrangement here kind of comes together nicely around his voice. And it kind of reminded me of the fact that they used to record songs with all the voices in the room and all the instruments in the room and everything. And we're going to play this together. And here we go. And it's just not done that way now, but you can really hear it on some of these older tracks. And I think it lends itself, it kind of picks up his voice that is not just conventionally just like a great singing voice.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like a very organic sound, which works really well for Christmas music because you kind of just envision the gathering in the quad area or something of everyone singing these carols and whatever it is. So it works really nicely.
Well, and again, my childhood was not as glamorous as Sam's, but I do also like that you can hear you can hear his accent, like it's Santa Claus, that's how my grandparents said it too, like Santa Claus. It wasn't Santa Claus, or any Bush Noel or anything beautiful. I'm sure Sammer got to hear literally too. My grandparents are from Paris, Texas. I'm not making that up. And so that is where we spent a lot of Christmases. And so I love that I get that little piece of Texas in there too. When I hear this, I hear the cowboy in Gene Autry's voice. And so that makes me happy as well. And another reason that I think it's so funny against that, the backdrop of Christmas Vacation where, they're in Chicago or the suburbs of, and, you've got Gene Autry singing while this SWAT team's busting in. Super funny. Well, I'm so glad you guys joined me here on the last season of the episode. Thank you. The last season of the episode. The last episode of the season. There we go.
Let's try it again. It's okay.
I know.
You don't have to text me about this edit. I'll remember.
I know. Usually that's me. Hey, can you make this part go away? Yeah, it's been a long season. But I'm really glad that we finished it out this way. Again, this is one of my favorite times of year. I love listening to Christmas music. I don't love listening to it in November 1st, but I do love listening to it at the appropriate time. And so I'm glad we were all able to come together and make this playlist. So thank you to both of you for joining me. Thank you for being great producers of this show, and happy holidays. I can't wait to see what 2025 brings for all of the shows on the Super Awesome Mix Network.
Thank you for having us, Jen. This was so much fun.
Yes, thank
Yay.
you, and happy holidays to you and everyone else out there.
Excellent. Listeners, you know where to find Matt and Sam on the Super Awesome Mix podcast. You can also find Sam on the Super Awesome You podcast. And Matt and I are just wrapping up season 2 of The Battle, so you can catch seasons 1 and 2 of The Battle. We'd love it if you'd make a New Year's resolution to check out all of the shows on our network in the new year. And please be sure to follow, download, and share one or all of them this holiday season. And if you love listening, drop a review on Apple or Spotify for us. Last but not least, to stay informed on all things Super Awesome Mix and What Are You Listening To, and to stay in touch with Matt, Sam, and me, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Super Awesome Mix. Thanks for listening, and please join me on January 20th of 2025 for the season 6 premiere of What Are You Listening To? From all of us, we wish you a happy holiday and all the best for the new year.